Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. It's Tom. Welcome back to the Tuesday Talk, which has not yet been deplatformed. I want to say we're going full board to 2021. I want to start off today by just giving a shout out to Simona Denes, one of our Cobb County case managers. Simona was recently recognized by Judge Amber Patterson in Juvenile Court for her incredibly good and consistent court reports. It's not every day that a judge gives us that kind of praise to one of our workers, and I just want to congratulate Simona and thank her for her diligence, and thank Judge Patterson also for recognizing her hard work. So thanks, Judge, and thanks, Simona. Let's keep up the good work. Of course, the legislature is back in session. We have some new faces at the legislature. Of the 56 senators, 10 are new, and of the 180 members of the House, 26 are new. We also, of course, have some old hands at the wheel who are going to guide us through the session. Butch Miller was reelected as President Pro Tem of the Senate. David Ralston reelected as Speaker, and Jan Jones as President Pro Tem of the House. So we're looking forward to working with all those good folks in the next 3 months to get our budget, to get our legislative priorities done, and really to do what we can to manage through the pandemic budget, but also make progress on the legislation. We know that because there is a pandemic, we're going to have some limitations in contact. I know the members of the House and the Senate will be socially distanced as they vote. There may be fewer folks lobbying in person, but remember that you can see a lot of the proceedings or watch a lot of the proceedings on the legislative website, either live or archived. We'll get Ramirez to put a link to that so you can go on and see what's happening. In terms of the legislative days, as many of you know, we have 40 legislative days kind of spread out over the course of about 3 months. This week, we're in the session, the General Assembly's in session Monday through Thursday of this week. Governor Kemp gives his State of the State address on Thursday, and we're expecting him to once again really reinforce his desire to improve the foster care and adoption systems in Georgia. And then the legislature will, of course, certainly take off for Martin Luther King Day, but then also take off a week from formal meeting, but we'll have budget hearings. And our particular DFACS budget hearing is scheduled for about 8 o'clock a.m. on the 21st, if you want to listen in on that. And then the fifth legislative day will be on, I think, Tuesday the 26th. We've got a lot of legislative stuff going on. You'll hear more about that as we go along through the session. So we also, of course, at the federal legislature, have the Congress is doing a lot with the coronavirus. We have a more recent, the latest Coronavirus Relief Act. Kind of want to run through a few things that really are affecting our work. So, and in fact, I'm going to post a link to an American Public Human Services Association summary of this latest bill, so you can go look at it for yourself. But on child welfare, we're raising the age that we can provide services to extended youth and extended foster care to age 26. Increased federal funding for our educational vouchers for these young adults to attend technical college or college. No aging out. Usually, of course, we have aging out at 21. We're allowing those young people to stay in our system and to even re-enter during this difficult time period. Additional promoting safe and stable families funds of about $85 million. $10 million additionally to our court improvement project, the Committee on Justice for Children in Georgia, that we work with, and then $25 billion in rental assistance. Now, of course, these are nationwide funds, and I understand from our CFO that we usually get by state about 2% of the whole. I think that rental assistance is very helpful to make sure that we don't experience a surge of homelessness, which certainly affects our child welfare system. In OFI, in our benefit side, there will be a 15% increase in SNAP benefits through the end of June. We are getting additional federal funds to help us pay for the cost of administering the PEBT program for those kids who should have been receiving free and reduced lunches except for school being out. and we are working on a plan to do that again for this current school year. $100 million across the board, like I said, nationwide, for additional expenses associated with administering food stamps. One thing that I've heard a lot of advocates very, very excited about is that food stamps will temporarily, at least, be available, for college students who are low income and who are not receiving financial support from their families, which is very important for those, especially for our foster youth or former foster youth who are advancing their education. $400 million nationwide for the Emergency Food Assistance Program, $13 million for a commodity program, and then some additional emergency relief for child nutrition programs. The more that we can do as an agency to pull in these funds and work with our food banks and our Department of Education and all of our partners in the community to make sure that people have less food insecurity, the better off we are. And additionally, I see that on the child care side, there's an additional $10 billion nationwide to help the child care agencies who have been trying to take care of children during this time period. And I know it's been difficult financially, but that work is so important because it allows essential workers especially to do that essential work while their children are taken care of. On PSNAP, we're, of course, issuing that again. The pandemic SNAP benefits will continue. It's probably as long as the public health emergency lasts. Those will be the additional PSNAP benefits are going out toward the end of the month, the 25th through the 30th in the month, depending on the case numbers of the recipients. We continue to have relief from having to do the administrative work concerned with Medicaid and food stamp renewals for several months, which really lightens our workload in this difficult time. And partly as a result of the lightened workload, our numbers in terms of timeliness and eligibility continue to look good. And Premier is always kind enough to post those on the screen for y'all. So, as I said, there's a lot going on. We're looking forward to 2021 as a better year. And I want to end, I think we know that before I do the next Tuesday talk, we'll have Martin Luther King Day. And I think it's important, especially in light of the protests that we've seen that have turned violent in some cases recently, to remember from Martin Luther King Center for Nonviolent Social Change, the 6 principles of nonviolence. Nonviolence is a way of life for courageous people. It is an active, nonviolent resistance to evil. Nonviolence seeks to win friendship and understanding. The truth of the matter is it's not a matter of winning, one side winning or another side of winning. It is a matter of all of us being reconciled to one another. Nonviolence seeks to defeat injustice, not people. We want people on our side. We want justice to be done for all people. Nonviolence holds that suffering can educate and transform. And I think we all know stories in which we have seen the suffering of individuals and have learned what we can from it and how we can be transformed sometimes through suffering. Nonviolence chooses love instead of hate. Nonviolence resists violence to the spirit as well as the body. Nonviolence love is active, not passive. It does not sink to the level of the hater, or as my mama used to say, don't put yourself down on that level, be above that. And I think perhaps one of the most important statements here is nonviolence believes that the universe is on the side of justice. If we believe that God, or whomever you see as the creator and holder of the universe, is on our side, is on the side of doing right by individuals. If you believe that the arc of the universe bends toward justice, then I think we can take confidence that no matter what we maybe see happening on the streets from day to day, in the end, if we adhere to loving others, to nonviolence, to humble service toward others, that in the long run, what Dr. King told us in terms of that justice will rain down like waters will in fact come true. So y'all have a wonderful week. Hope you'll take some time next Monday to think about these issues, and if you have an opportunity to go and serve others, both not only on that day, but every day. Y'all have a good week. We'll see you next Tuesday. Thanks, man.